Vinegar Syndrome Archive Collection, celebrating forgotten cinematic oddities from the video store era. This collection was inspired by our own brick-and-mortar video store, the Archive in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Unique to this line, each hand-numbered limited edition release will come fitted in a specially designed bottom-loading VHS-inspired slipcase, while also including a double-sided poster. Small-time drug dealer Bluray, along with his girlfriend Carmen, are kidnapped by a duo of thugs working for a ruthless mobster named Frankie Navarro. It seems that the gangster is after a cache of diamonds, but when Billy is killed, Carmen is placed under protective FBI custody as a star witness in the case against Frankie. It's up to the FBI agents to get her out of Texas, with Frankie's #1 hitman Drago and his cohorts hot on their tail. The feature directing debut of acclaimed stuntman Jon Stewart, Action USA, is a film that delivers on its title, and then some. Kicking off with what might be the wildest car-turned-helicopter-turned-car chases ever put on film, the excitement never ends, with a near non-stop assault of expertly staged fights, explosions, plenty of car chases, and so much more, all of it oozing with Texas lens charm. Starring a who's who of exploitation cinema and TV stalwarts, among them Ross Hagen, William Smith, Cameron Mitchell, Hoke Howell, and Gregory Scott Cummins, and photographed by Thomas Calloway, Vinegar Syndrome Archive proudly brings Action USA to Blu-ray in a stunning new 4K restoration that lets you experience all of the thrills like never before. Directed by Jon Stewart, starring Gregory Scott Cummins, Ross Hagen, William Smith, Cameron Mitchell, Hoke Howell. 1988-97 min, 1.85 port 1, English stereo and 5.1 surround. Additional info: region-free Blu-ray, newly scanned and restored in 4K from its 35mm original negative. Group commentary with director Jon Stewart, cinematographer Thomas Calloway, actor Gregory Scott Cummins, and filmmaker Steve Latshaw. Q&A with director Jon Stewart and filmmaker Brian Trenchard Smith, Lost Gem. An interview with actor Gregory Scott Cummins. Newly created theatrical trailer, double-sided poster, limited edition of 4,000, reversible cover artwork, English SDH subtitles. The House of Usher. Molly and her fiancé Ryan are vacationing in England, but while driving to visit Ryan's elderly uncle Roderick Usher at his secluded country manor, they have an accident and Ryan is left critically injured. After being rescued by Roderick's strange butler, Molly finds herself a prisoner in the crumbling mansion and slave to its diabolical staff. Even worse, it soon emerges that Roderick is a crazed madman determined to extend his family's dying bloodline and will stop at nothing, including torture and murder, to make Molly into his bride. A fiendish contemporary reimagining of Edgar Allan Poe's Gothic classic, Alan Birkinshaw's The House of Usher stars acclaimed thespian Oliver Reed alongside horror icon Donald Pleasance. Produced by Harry Alan Towers and filled with perverse and gruesome twists, Vinegar Syndrome Archive brings the never-on-disc The House of Usher to Blu-ray in a sparkling new 2K restoration. Directed by Alan Birkinshaw, starring Oliver Reed, Donald Pleasance, Romy Windsor. 1989-92 min, 1.851, English. Additional info: Region A Blu-ray, newly scanned and restored in 2K from its 35mm interpositive. Telltale, an interview with director Alan Birkinshaw. Promotional still gallery, double-sided poster. Limited edition of 4,000, reversible cover artwork, English SDH subtitles. Grave secrets. Iris Norwood has just suffered a horrible car accident. While recovering in her large and secluded bed and breakfast, she starts to believe that someone, or something, is watching her. As the sinister presence grows increasingly apparent, she engages the help of a famed cynical paranormal psychologist, David Shaw, who is grappling with the recent death of his wife. Initially skeptical of Iris's claims, it's not long before David comes face to face with a shocking evil that is more menacing than anything he has encountered. The first feature film, directed by veteran genre film producer Donald P. Borchers, Grave Secrets, is a deliberate throwback to classic haunted house chillers and stars Paul Le Mat, Renee Soutendijk, David Warner, and Olivia Barash. Elevated by gothic horror visuals by cinematographer Jamie Thompson, Vinegar Syndrome Archive presents this direct-to-video sleeper on Blu-ray for the first fine, newly restored in 2K from its 35mm interpositive. Directed by Donald P. Borchers, starring Paul Le Mat, Renee Soutendijk, David Warner, Olivia Barash. 1989, 89 min 1.85x1 English stereo. Additional info, Region A Blu-ray, newly scanned and restored in 2K from its 35mm interpositive. Brand new audio interview with director Donald P. Borchers. Double-sided poster, limited edition of 4,000. Reversible cover artwork, English SDH subtitles. Alley Cat. Billy has had enough of the thugs and gangsters who have been terrorizing her neighborhood. After her grandparents are savagely attacked on their way home, she decides to take matters into her own hands and, using her knowledge of martial arts, begins dishing out her own brand of vigilante justice. What she doesn't expect is that it's not just the local hoods who have put a target on her back, but the criminal justice system itself is stacked against her, and they are ready to make her life a living hell. A whacked-out mix of action drama and revenge thriller, laced with some social commentary. Co-directors Victor Ordonez, Ed Palmos, and Alvaletta's Alley Cat is a gritty and tightly paced crime film set in seedy Los Angeles of the early 80s. Produced and written by Robert E. Waters and originally released by notorious exploitation film distributor Edward L. Montoro, Vinegar Syndrome Archive is delighted to present this deliriously trashy crime film on Blu-ray, newly restored in 4K from its original 35mm camera negative. Directed by Victor Ordonez, Ed Palmos, Al Valletta, starring Karen Manny, Robert Torti, Britt Helfer, Michael Wayne. 1984, 83 min, 1.851 English mono. Additional info, Region A Blu-ray, newly scanned and restored in 4K from its 35mm original camera negative. Walking the Alley, an interview with co-director Al Valletta. We Hustled, an interview with actor Robert Torti. Original theatrical trailer, double-sided poster, limited edition of 5,000. Reversible cover artwork, English SDH subtitles. Champagne and Bullets. After being set up on phony drug charges by a corrupt cop named Normad, two respected policemen, Rick and Huck, are kicked off the force. Years later, Rick reunites with Cindy, his ex-girlfriend, who reveals that she's being pursued by a ruthless satanic cult that has started practicing human sacrifices and, even worse, is being operated by none other than Normad. When Huck is set up again by Normad, who is now a judge, Rick takes it upon himself to defeat the encroaching evil. An almost indescribable action film and pure passion project, directed, produced, written by and starring John DeHart, Champagne and Bullets was produced in 1993 but revamped several times over the subsequent 2 decades by its director. Each new iteration was more mind-blowing than the last, with the culmination, Get Even, becoming an immediate cult hit and the stuff of legend in video trading circles. Co-starring Wings Hauser and William Smith, Vinegar Syndrome Archive is overjoyed to present the Blu-ray debut of John DeHart's Champagne and Bullets in its never commercially released original 16mm cut, as well as its Road to Revenge and notorious Get Even re-edits. Directed by John DeHart, James Paradise. Starring John DeHart, Wings Hauser, William Smith, Pamela Jean Bryant. 1993, 99 min, 1.55 English. Mono. Additional info, Region Free Blu-ray, newly scanned and restored in 2K from its 16mm original camera negative. Brand new commentary track with writer, director, producer, star John DeHart. Brand new audio interview with John DeHart. Road to Revenge re-edit sourced from video. Get Even re-edit sourced from video. Video trailer for Get Even. Double-sided poster. Limited edition of 6,000. Reversible cover artwork. English SDH subtitles.